flying barrels. In April of 1943, high above occupied Belgium, a German fighter pilot named Werner Schroer looked up and could barely believe what he saw compared to the sleek, agile German fighters he was used to facing. These new American planes looked clumsy, bulky, almost comical. He radioed back to his squadron that the Americans were flying barrels, and for a while most of the Luftwaffe agreed with him. What none of them understood yet was that this strange, awkward-looking aircraft was about to become one of the most feared machines in the skies of Europe. A plane built wrong on purpose. The P-47 Thunderbolt was never designed to be elegant. It was the heaviest single-engine fighter of the entire war, built around a massive radial engine and a thick, barrel-shaped fuselage. American pilots even had their own nickname for it, the Jug, short for Juggernaut, where German engineers built light, nimble interceptors optimized for tight turns. The Americans built something completely different. A fighter designed to absorb punishment, dive faster than anything else in the sky, and carry enough firepower to tear a target apart in seconds. It looked like a mistake. It flew like a weapon, the plane that wouldn't die. As American pilots took the Thunderbolt into combat over Europe, something strange started happening. German pilots would land solid hits, sometimes emptying their entire ammunition load into a Thunderbolt, and the plane would still make it home. Its air-cooled radial engine could take damage that would have destroyed almost any other fighter of the war, and its heavy armor plating protected the pilot even when the aircraft itself looked shredded. German pilots began describing an unsettling feeling. They could hit the target again and again, and it simply refused to go down. Learning to fear the Jug. By late 1943, the mockery had turned into something closer to dread. German pilots who once laughed at the Thunderbolt's shape were now changing their entire strategy to avoid it. American pilots had learned to climb to extreme altitude, where the Thunderbolt's engine gave it a serious advantage, and then dive at incredible speed to strike before the enemy could react. German fighters, built for tight low-altitude turns, had no good answer for a plane that could outdive them, and simply refused to die. What started as a joke among Luftwaffe pilots had quietly become one of their biggest problems in the sky. The German test pilot who knew the truth. In November of 1943, a German test pilot named Hans-Werner was given the rare chance to fly a captured Thunderbolt himself at a German testing facility. He had been told, like most of the Luftwaffe, that American aircraft were crude and mass-produced, built by a country better known for refrigerators than fighter planes. After 90 minutes in the cockpit, Lerche came to a very different conclusion. In his own report, he admitted that what looked like a clumsy design was actually brilliant, practical engineering, a huge cockpit that allowed pilots to fly for 8 hours at a time, simple instruments that even inexperienced pilots could read at a glance, and a structure so tough it could bring a damaged aircraft home when almost anything else would have gone down. The plane the Luftwaffe had mocked in 1943 was, according to one of their own test pilots, something closer to genius. The final score. By the end of the war, more than 15,000 Thunderbolts had been built, making it the most produced American fighter of the entire conflict. It finished the war with a kill ratio of more than 4. Victories for every Thunderbolt lost in combat, flown by some of the greatest American aces of the war. The plane German pilots once laughed at in the skies over Belgium had become one of the most dominant fighters of World War II, not through elegance, but through sheer brutal effectiveness. If you want more forgotten stories like this one, stories of American power that started as doubt and ended as legend, make sure you're subscribed to Steel Archives.